believe everyone can see my screen. Just waiting for the pop-up. Okay. All right. And I see I got some thumbs up. All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump in. Thank you, everyone, for joining the Nancy Tech Community Meeting for July. This is our 7th meeting. As a friendly reminder, we are recording our meetings and they will be posted to the YouTube channel. We apologize for those of you that might have been looking for the video last month. It got corrupted somehow, so we weren't able to post it. But hopefully we're going to have Charles come back and our other speaker come back and redo his session so we can post one that is recorded, just so you know. So here's our agenda for today. We're going through, of course, right now, we're going through the welcome. We had our arrivals a little bit ago. We're going to meet the team. I'm going to talk a little bit about Anansi, give the speaker call, the sponsor call, and the volunteer call. Then we have a couple of community announcements, but we're still looking for more. And then we have our speaker time, our networking time, and then we'll close. All right, so here is our Nancy Tech community team. I believe we have one member missing who joined recently, but we'll correct that for later. So I'm going to be your host for today. We also have one of our speakers who will be Harry, who is one of our other founders, and our other two gentlemen, which I'll introduce them in a bit. A bit about Nancy Tech. We are a community group focused mostly on Microsoft technology, although we will have topics not just in Microsoft technology around Office 365, SharePoint, Teams, Power Platform, and those types of related technologies. But we'll also have talks around professionalism and career advice and LinkedIn and things like that, things that will help you become a well-rounded professional in the tech space. Here's our links for our community page, which has our events, and our company page, which has our events, and our community page where the Q&A and discussion will be had. But I also have QR codes at the end, so don't worry about trying to write down these links unless you just take a picture of the screen. Feel free to get social while we're in these meetings. Use the hashtag Anansi Tech Community or Anansi Tech. All right, now, whoopsie, too many clicks. Now on to the all call. So we are looking for speakers, sponsors, and volunteers. So for speakers, even if you're new, you could be seasoned veteran, you could be somewhere in between. We welcome everyone. If you have a tech topic or you have a tech career topic or just a career, topic like how to present, not necessarily tech career, but a career topic. This is a place where you can come, share your knowledge, share your insights. It's a low pressure environment and it also looks great on your resume. So if you start being more involved in the technical community, you speak at the community, you can put that on your resume as an experience to show your people that you're applying jobs for. For sponsorship, we're looking for sponsors for this group. Now, right now, we are still remote. But at some point, we are going to become hybrid, and we would like to also offer things like, so we'll need food when we become hybrid for our people that are showing up in person. But we'll also like to offer things like prizes and swag. So even if you don't want to donate something monetarily, you can donate in kind, like donate some prizes, donate some swag, say that you'll send something to somebody who wins something during one of our community calls. That's another way that you can do a sponsorship. We're also planning on having a tech community conference, which will be not this summer. I need to change that. Most likely next summer, and we'll need sponsors for those. So if you're interested, please let us know. And the QR code on the slide will help you get to the email sending us for sponsorship. The QR code for the speaker one will help you get to the speaker forum, so you fill that out so you can get into our speaker rotation. And as for volunteers, we're always looking for people to help us with this community, whether it be hosting, planning, community engagement, things like that, sponsor engagement. And the QR code on the slide will also help you get to where you need to go to reach out to us for that. This is another thing that looks great on your resume. So if you're in other tech communities or want to volunteer for ours, you should be putting those types of activities on your resume. Just a little tech tip, tech career tip. All right, now we're moving on to announcements. So we got a couple of new ones. One is actually going on right now, and that's Risk Summit. I'll just turn on the laser pointer real quick. Risk Summit right now is actually it started yesterday and it's still going on today. Don't know if you got a chance to go, but hopefully you did or have heard about it. But if you've gone, our friend Papa Ankhurst has been the host for this conference. And I've been hearing very good reports coming out of the conference. We have this other conference coming up also in Ghana. It will be on April 2nd. This is a women's conference, so please, if you're a woman in tech or you know some women in tech, please invite them to this conference. And then we still have the community calls that are still going on under Microsoft for those of you who might be interested in becoming a partner, but also just to keep up with things that are going on in the Microsoft community, you could possibly join these calls. If you need help with any of these announcements that I just talked about, if you have questions, you can reach out to us in our Outlook email, which is a nancytech.com@outlook.com. And the com is not COOCOM, it's right here. COM instead of COMM. So it's a little bit shortened, but that's the email right there. Now we're all in this tech community together, and as this slide is saying, we really appreciate the each one teach one method or thought pattern. So it takes people to build a community. It takes every one of you. So please, if you have folks that should be in this community who are using Microsoft Tech, who are interested in Microsoft Tech, who are trying to figure out their technical community that they should be a part of, like maybe they're trying to figure out what kind of tech they want to be a part of, then invite them to our community, as well as to any other communities that you know of. We teach each other in these technical communities, so the more members we have, the more people we have to draw knowledge and insights from, the better our community will be. Now, before we get into our I don't know if this is, there it goes, I think. Okay, before we get into our speakers, we're going to look at this presentation on Microsoft presentation on Microsoft Power Platform. If I can get it to play. There we go. Oh, I just realized something. Sorry, folks. Gonna have to stop sharing, start sharing again. I just realized I forgot again to add the audio. Apologies. Gonna start over 1 second so you can actually hear what's going on. And baby, come on, dang. Sorry, my mouse is giving me some problems. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I think. Let me go back.
Is one of the big four accounting firms. We are across.
There we go.
My name is Anbu Anbarasu. I lead the low-code services team within EY Client Technology. EY is one of the big four accounting firms. We are across 150 countries, about 300,000 employees, and we're one of the largest consumers of Microsoft technology stack. During COVID, one of the FSO teams reached out to us to work on the Paycheck Protection Program solution. The program entitles any small business owner in the US who is impacted by the COVID lockdown to go into a bank and apply for a PPP loan. So EY wanted to simplify the process for both the banks as well as the borrowers. Typically, when we try to build an application, we start from scratch, we come up with the visual design and the wireframe, and it's a long process. We didn't have any of those luxuries when the COVID hit. The key differentiator on why we chose Power Platform is how easy and quick it is to develop solutions. Power Apps, Power Automate, and Dataverse.
Yeah, I don't know why I just did that. Sorry, folks. Dude, really?
Come
There we
together
go.
and integrate very seamlessly. And that was the reason why we chose Power Platform for the PPP solution. As an IT person, it's not very often that you touch upon people's lives through your solutions. Since launching the solution, we were able to process the loan amount for 50,000 small business owners, totaling 10 billion in loan forgiveness. It feels great to have been part of this solution and
Why does it keep doing that? Apologies, folks. I was trying to move the
to
screen and I
have
don't know why I
delivered
turned it
this
off.
at a very crucial time when people really needed it.
Oh, and then, of course,
The
now it wants
banks
to
of
keep
tomorrow look
going.
very different from the banks of today. Why? We think
Bruh. Okay. Jeez. PowerPoint fun. So apologies for that.
they're
Going on, moving on. Of course, it was trying to go again. Now it's time for our speaker time. So, first up, we have Eric, who will come and talk about the Baobab platform. Eric has been our monthly speaker to talk about this platform because it is such an important platform for young Africans to be on. So we'll have him on every month giving a talk about it as well as giving us any updates. And then we have Harry, who is one of the founders. He'll be talking today about Viva Insights. And then we have Albert Quest, who is actually one of our architects on our team, and he'll be talking about he'll be giving an intro to. I'm sorry, that part's a little wrong. He's supposed to be doing an intro to Power Automate, I believe. All right. Okay, so first up is Eric. Let me know, Eric, if you want me to control your screen or not, or if you want to take control.
Okay, so hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so I think you have been controlling my screen for a while now, so I'd like you to continue because I feel a little bit lazy because you have been doing it for me anyway.
Okay, no
But
worries. I got you.
if not, like I can do it myself, but like I'll prefer you do it that way for me.
No worries. Just let me know.
Okay, sure. So I should go ahead with my presentation, right?
Yes, we're ready for you. I'll go
Okay,
to the
so
first slide.
okay, sure. So hello everyone. Eric Kapnariafe, a final year student in the University of Cape Coast reading information technology. I also have a startup where we help teachers and students get into tech regardless of their educational background. Our target is for those who are not familiar with the tech world. Today I'm very proud to be here to share the little knowledge I have about Baobab and a platform that's helping African youth to connect and make a difference on the continent. Thank you. I can start my presentation now. Okay, so as I said already, this is not the first time I'm presenting on Baobab, but I think it's a crucial platform that every African should know of, even those in Africa and those in diaspora as well. Yes, so it's a must. And the amazing thing about this platform is that it's made for and by Africans. So we made our own thing. You know, if you are developing something by yourself, it's different from someone developing it and handing over to you, right? So this is our own, and that's why we are promoting it. Yes. So the next slide. Okay. So as I said, is a social Baobab simply is a social media professional learning community for young Africans. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a more like LinkedIn version of it because it has a learning community where you can join professors from all over Africa are teaching you, and it's amazing, right? Yes. So let's move. Okay, so our overview is going to be very simple. You look at what Baobab is, look at how you can join, setting up your profile, look at the features, which is very, very important. So we look at the feed, the courses, the opportunity, the mentorship, and the events on Baobab. Then we conclude with the how you can network on Baobab and why you should join Baobab today. Okay, so I've said this already. So let's move on to by now I know everyone knows what Baobab is, and I was very glad to see NTC on Baobab. I was very glad to see that posting on Baobab. It's amazing to have um, the team, the NTC tech consultancy team on Baobab. That's great. That's very great. Okay, so if you don't have Baobab accounts after this program, I highly recommend it for you to join. It's an amazing where you see Africans trying to do something, having program that you can discuss, can share ideas, you can suggest, and we are all willing to learn from each other, regardless. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so how you can join Baobab is very simple. You have to just use a link, just type Baobab Platform, and you can sign up today, right? So I've made a video on it where maybe I can share the video in the video description just because sometimes when you are starting, it's new to you, it's a little bit complicated, but it's not all that complicated, right? So far as you have been able to register any or sign up for any social media account, it's just like the same. So you just have to sign up and you are good to go. So you just have to type your email and your password. So after signing up, you can log in with your email and your password. So let's move to the next slide. So this is my profile. It is nice, right? So I have a heading where it talks about what I am into. For everyone that's D4E, I'm an aspiring project manager. I'm also an IT student that I'm completing this year at the University of Cape Coast, Ghana. I also live right now. I'm in Cape Coast, Ghana, and I'm from New Abraham, Eastern part of Ghana. So you can see, all my information there. So this is my you can how I found the platform. So I found it on social media search engine and my interest and other stuff. So you can even add your LinkedIn profile and your website. So you can see that I've add all of them here, and they help people. People reach out to me easily. Immediately when they find me, they connect to me on LinkedIn. They also check my website. I'm proud to see other African countries trying to connect, trying to find out what I'm doing, what's working here, and how they can also apply it there. It's an amazing like I think we have to generate youth that we think of uniting with other African countries. I think we are always looking outside the continent, and I believe that there is a lot of opportunities in other African countries. So we have to build that connection so that we also explore other African countries and see how we can help each other as Africans. Let's move on. Okay, so I talked about the feed feature, right? So just like any other social media platform, it allows you to share your posts. So I acknowledge NTC Tech Consultancy. They shared this particular program there, and I saw it. I commented it. So you can share your success, your success story. You can even share anything that you want, your pictures, your quotes, just to help these young leaders or African leaders on this platform. And you can also give you access to view posts made by others, right? So you can share yours and others. You can also be inspired by others' posts. Yes, so that's the feed section. Let's move on to the next section. Okay, so one thing that I really love about this platform is the course. I always say this just because the course, the feature is wide range of very, very relevant courses tailored to university students and professionals. So if you are in the work field or you're a student, there is something in it for you, right? So don't be like, we will look at some of the courses anyway, and their courses are very detailed, very research based. So they are talking about facts, what's happening, right? So that's why I like about their courses. And lastly, their certificates are free, unlike LinkedIn that you have to pay before you get the LinkedIn learning platform. This one is free that you can, when you are done, you get a certificate at no cost. So as I said, the courses is something that I'm very, very interested as a student or as a final year student that I need some skills aside the academic knowledge. I found this very, very important, especially I'm highly into entrepreneurship because I'm looking at how I can manage my stuff, how I can start something on my own. So I found this site or Baobab as a good mind. But let me mention some of the categories that you can be looking up to. So foundational skills, entrepreneurship skills. As I said, this I'm enjoying this and I'm learning a lot from, especially this um, category. And the STEM knowledge and skills. So the STEM talk about science, technology, engineering, mathematics. They have a lot of STEM. They have Python courses, which are very detailed, right? Very, very detailed. They have some digital course, 21st century course, the collaboration, creativity, yeah, they are all in there. And work readiness. So this is more like for those who are in the job field, right? You want to upgrade yourself a bit, you can benefit from Baobab courses and transformative leadership for both students and those who want to go ahead in their career. Sure. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunity there, right? That as a student or a professional, you can chance on this or take advantage of this opportunity. So you can people post scholarship, job opportunity, and you just have to apply for this. And sometimes, most of the time, some of them, most of them that post are HR, so you can quickly connect with them on LinkedIn, tell them a little bit about yourself, and that give you that edge over those who just applied, right? Sure, and also scholarships, you can find job partners. So sometimes you may have an idea that's working in a particular community. You want to replicate it in various community or various African countries. You find very brilliant, vibrant youth to support this idea and make it happen. We said we are now in a global village, so yeah, nothing is impossible with the help of the internet. So okay, so as I'm wrapping up, I'm going to talk about the mentorship program. So Baobab have an inbuilt mentorship program, and people from professionals from various fields, from health, from software engineer, that the tech industry. The tech industry, you have so many part of it. From the cyber world, you can always find someone who is doing greatly well, and that person will be willing to mentor you. And aside that, they have a mentorship course on its own that you can start pursuing it. And I think it's one of the courses that I really learn a lot as a mentee and a mentor as well, because so far as I have people that mentor me, I also mentor other students, especially my colleagues and those who are in the third, second, and first years. So this is a very great resources for me because I implement whatever I learned in my daily life. Okay, so as I said, I've mentioned all of this. So there's opportunity on this platform. You can develop yourself professionally, right, by meeting other people, just like LinkedIn. But this one is more tailored to the African community, and that's one thing unique about this platform. Can get up mentorship, and as I also said, networking and collaboration with other Africans. Okay, so Africa, we have two dominating languages, that's the French and the English. So we have option that you can turn to French, where you can mingle with those who are just speaking French. So it's not like it's only English based app. They have another section that you can message someone. So if someone is doing something that you want to talk to that person, you can message the person there. And they also have notification. Notification as in when someone like your post, you can just go and check. Well, excuse me, when someone comments on your post, you can also go and check. Okay, so I'll highly recommend everyone to join Baobab. They have app version, um, that's the Play Store or Apple Store, and also the web version. So most of the time I use the web version and the app version, right? So I use it simultaneously, and it's been a very great resources for me connecting with students from other parts of Africa, which without this platform it would be very hard for me to find them and get to know them and start discussing great ideas with them. So it's very advisable that you join Baobab.
I think you kind of went over this, so I'll just go to your last slide.
Okay. Okay. So um okay. So that's all I have for you today. I really appreciate and I thought you learned something great from this presentation. And yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you, Ikia, and all the team who always put this together and always inviting me to come and share a little bit that I know. So thank you very much. And I'm very glad to learn from the previous speakers. I'm very glad to learn from them. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks so much. So you got some applause going. Anybody got any questions? If you have any questions, you can feel free to come off mute or you can put them in the chat window. I'll just give another half a minute or so for folks to respond if someone wants to come off mute and ask a question.
Hey, I have a question. All right. I mean, in the last few months that Bulba since Bulba been in its exception, what is its growth rate?
Okay, so so now what I know for now is that yeah, now the time that I check, I think about a month ago, they have hit 50,000 um, users, right? But as
Uh-huh.
we are talking now, I can't really tell. But I think about a month ago, there are 50,000 active users on the platform. Yeah. So hopefully, estimately, maybe now they are around maybe 55,000 or something. Hopefully.
Okay. So the platform right now, is it geared towards business or is it just geared for social communication?
Okay, so initially the platform was created for um what do you call it? Mastercard Foundation for less, right? So initially that
Mm,
is more like those that Mastercard they are on Mastercard scholarship. They created a platform so that they will try to connect with themselves, scholars connecting with themselves, making friends, and coming up with brilliant projects. But recently, I think this by beginning of this year, and they realized that it's a great platform, and if they make it open, it's going to help everyone, especially like Africa. so they made it open. So their main motive is more like collaboration, right? Because Mastercard mostly they are doing a lot of sponsorship or scholarship programs in almost every African countries, right? So they have their scholars from all the continent or the
Hmm.
country. So it's more like collaboration, sharing opportunities, sharing scholarships and others. So now it's open to the community that everyone can join, as I said.
Okay, so if I was a Ghanaian painter on the corner and I wanted to
Mhm.
spread the word on my paintings, is Bulba a good platform for me to connect to other people to show off my paintings?
Okay, so as I initially said, it was initially built for more like scholars and
Hmm.
not necessarily for maybe artisans or anything like that. I think if you are sharing something that's more related to academia, like software, that kind of academia area, it will really go well than more like artisan point of view. This is what I'm like. This is my view. It's not like a general suggestion, but from my point of view.
Hmm. Okay.
Sure.
Thanks for that.
Okay. Welcome.
All right, any other questions? But it's definitely good to know that the platform is going strong and not just going strong, it's like picking up speed. So that's awesome. Good to know. All right. So next up, so we're going to move on to the next speaker. Oh, go ahead, Eric.
Sorry,
Looks
I
like you
wanted
raised
to
your
react
hand.
to the opportunity. Yeah, I wanted to react to the opportunity. I click on raise. Sorry for that.
Okay. No worries. I sometimes hit the wrong button too. Charles,
Yeah, good evening.
good evening.
Yeah, Eric, I would like to know you see, when you are signing up, there are steps that you follow, the program selection. Do you have any
Sure.
idea about the programs that are over there? Because I can see Anzisha Prize Fellow, Ashoka
Sure.
Fellow,
Sure.
and Mastercard
Sure.
Foundation Scholars Program. If you could walk us through that one, I'll be very grateful.
Okay. That's a great question because a lot of people reach out to me finding that complaining about that, right? So that me myself, I'm not part of any of their programs. I'm not on their scholarship and anything like that. But I'm part of the program. That means those who are not part of I'm part of the platform. That means it's not for those who pursue that program alone. So what I would say is that you just have to. They have a section that you can say that you are not part of. You are or you can say even others, right? Or like none of the eight, so that you can just bypass and move on to the next one. But as I said, I have a video on the whole how you can sign up because initially I realized it's a little bit not all that smoothly, right? So I made a video on it so that students can easily so I'm sharing the link here so that you can just watch it and I think it's going to help you do it. Okay, so I've pasted a video in the chat. Thank you for that question.
Okay. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, I had that same question when we set up our account as well. Yeah, those are kind of internal things, but you don't have to, like Eric said, you don't have to be a part of them in order to be a part of the platform. So yes, join, Charles. Okay, anybody else? Any other questions? All right, we're going to move to our next speaker. So our next speaker is Harry, who is one of our founders. He is going to be speaking on Viva Insights and showing y'all what Viva Insights is about. Whoops, I hate when the slides do that. Okay, so go ahead and take it away, Harry.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. All right. There we go. Y'all see my screen? Thumbs up. All right. So now, as we get more and more into technology, and some of you guys start working in technology or work for a company within technology, some of you guys may be going into work. But a lot of us, as things go on, internet and technology and platforms are giving us the abilities to work remotely, to be able to work from our home. But the problem with that is many of us get up in the morning, and if we love what we do, but we have pressing deadlines, we have a lot of work, things like that. First thing we do is get up in the morning. First thing we're doing is in the work. We're on the computer. And by the time we lift our heads up, it is maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the evening. Half the day done been gone. You probably haven't even eaten breakfast yet. But that said, in this presentation, we're going to explore the function of Viva Insight. It's a model in Microsoft Viva that offers insight and tools that enhance the well-being and your productivity. Now, in this presentation, we'll explore the function of the Viva Insights, a model Microsoft Viva that offers insight and tools to enhance employees' well-being and productivity. What I mean by well-being and productivity, I mean viewing who yourself, being able to take a look at yourself and see where you're at and evaluate what you are doing. Are you overworking yourself? Are you underworking yourself? Are you in too many meetings? Are you getting things done to where as though you're more productive? Viva Insights provides a variety of features that help you track your well-being. Like I said, yourself, giving you a chance to look inside yourself and stay connected with your colleagues. Because since you're working remote, you don't have that colleague right next to you at the next desk where you can lean over, talk to them. It's a way that you can able to connect and collaborate, and also optimize your workday. Put your workday in order to where as though you don't be jumping around. You have time to do things. Things are set in a specific time to get those things done, then you be able to move on to the next thing or be able to balance your life. Whereas the work is one thing, your life is another thing. Viva Insight offers a range of tools to support employees' well-being and productivity. It's designed to enhance your employee well-being, productivity, and collaboration. Some of the function of Viva Insight includes tracking your work patterns, providing personalized insights and recommendations to improve your work-life balance, promoting a healthy habit, and enabling seamless collaboration with your team. To get a little deeper than that, a lot of times when we work at home, we tend to work more hours than we would normally work when we're in a building. When you go to the building, you get there the time designated time in the morning. If you work 9 to 5, you get there 10 minutes to 9. You sit at your desk, you get your work done. 12 o'clock, you get in a lunch break. And then after that, you get your 10-minute break. And then you hit the end of the day, you getting off of work. When you're working at home, that doesn't happen. The entire time drains into 1 hour. You do 9 hours, it seems like it's 1 hour. Viva Insight help you prioritize your well-being because when you work too much and you don't spend time for yourself, your well-being is at risk. It provides insights on your work patterns, such as how much time you spend in meetings, recommendations on how to better manage your workday. Viva Insight can also help you take regular breaks, practice mindfulness, and set personal goals. Viva Insight can help you and your team stay productive, engaged by providing data driven insights on how you can optimize your workday. Viva Insight can also help you stay connected with your team by providing visibility into each other's work patterns, promoting collaboration through the community, through the virtual community, and the Insight dashboard. You also have something which you call, and just let my mind, um, your commute, your daily commute. Now, that is important because if you think about when you get off of work, once you get off of work, at the end of the day, you close your computer. You leave that computer. You might be still thinking about the work you have to do. You get in your car, you get on the bus, you get your Uber, or however you travel back home. Once you get into traffic, now you're fussing about traffic. You're mad because you're stuck there in traffic, and now you're thinking about what's going to happen when I get home. What's there to eat? I want to take a shower. I want to do all these things. That transition happens in that commute the moment you close your computer and start going home. You commute, you transform from that work person to your home life. That doesn't happen when you work remote. You have to make that happen. Because other than that, you would end up working all through the day and you'd miss your family time. You'd miss your time. You miss the whole reason why you're working in the first place. So Viva Insight is a powerful tool that can help you and your team stay connected, productive, and engaged. By leveraging data-driven insight and tools to enhance employees' well-being and productivity, Viva Insight can help you achieve your goals and thrive in today's fast-paced work environment. So now that I've been through that part, let's end the slideshow. And I'm about to pull over and show y'all exactly what the Viva Insight looks like. Viva Insight is in Teams. It's part of Teams, and you can also get it as the Viva package. Now, this is a interactive demonstration, so you may see some of the words and stuff on the top. So, but don't worry about that. So, Microsoft Viva empowers your organization with data-driven, actionable insight to increase productivity and performance. Personal Insights helps every employee maintain positive habits such as reserving time for focused work, taking regular breaks, and following meetings and best practice. And this is good, especially for those people that work for us, that work for NCT. Use this tool. As we go through this, use the tool. It was very helpful. So you can sit, oh, go back. What are you doing, homie? Okay, you can send praises to enable you to express your appreciation of your colleagues and create more positive team culture. If you have someone that's in a meeting, you stuck on an idea, and they come up with the idea for it, help you get through it, walk through it, send them a praise, saying thank you, appreciate it. When when the praise page open, the title defaults to awesome. So you can select a different option. I mean, it'd be something positive because you wouldn't be sending out praises anyway. It'd be awesome. Thank you. Congratulations. We also we've also introduced the ability to select uh, uh, backgrounds to add the name of the person you want to praise. You can type the person's name. You can also select if you like to praise message sent privately via chat. Now you can either send it through a chat or you can just send it directly to that person. Inside Teams, you can actually pull that up inside your chat and send that praise right here inside Teams. You can also share praises to notify additional people about the colleague's effort. So if you want other people in the organization to know that, yes, this person did a good job, and I want everybody to know this person did a good job, type their name in, say what they did a good job about. You can preview it. It come up something like this, and then you send. Within the praise post, you can look back on praises that you received in the past. You can go up down, say, okay, I got, anytime someone say, hey, I want a raise now. It's time for a raise. I've been at his like a year, and you done sent me 35 praises. So, hey, I'm doing a good job. Let's talk. So you can have that for yourself. Also, if you ever doubt in yourself, thinking that, hey, maybe I'm not doing a good job, you can always look back and say, hey, my leadership is telling me I'm doing awesome. That means I am growing. I'm getting better. You can track the trends. Trends show analytics private to you. Now, this system allows for your boss to see your well-being in a different way, but there are certain areas of this platform that's private to you, like including total praises, recent and sent, your biggest fans, what colleagues appreciate about you. These are things that are private, but that also includes a Viva Insight license. The well-being tab feature experiences to teach you to practice mindful, improve focus, and be intentional about managing your time. Oh, the focus plan reserve regular time for you to top priority work by schedule up to 4 hours each day to focus with team notification silence. What that means is, what happened? What that means is, let me show you what it is because for some reason it didn't pop up on here. Okay. So that means that certain amount of times during the day, you can have meetings all day, right? But you need time to actually stop and do work. So you could block out focus time where as though you focus only on work and no one can bother you unless it's an emergency. So you don't have all these just random people, pinging you on different things. It would keep everything away from you within that focus time. And come up, say, look, you ready to focus? Improve your progress on important projects during your focus time by tongue tie into divide into short bursts or productive following by short breaks. So you'll be able to do certain things, you'll get a short break, and then you'll go back to it. So you have the opportunity to set up timers so you can work on a task for a specific intervals of times with breaks plans in between. So say for instance, you have one client that you work with that you have to do some work on. And then you have another client that you got other work you need to do. You need 3 hours for one, 1 hour for the other one. You could split that time and have a break in between, and it will come up and remind you, hey, your time for this client is up. Let's go to this one. Because then you'll end up running into all, being on getting so interested in the work that you're doing for one client. You end up doing 6 hours instead of that 3 hours without any breaks or anything to stop you from keep going. You can select mindful breaks. Mindful breaks focus mode also offers the option to select a curated set of mindful exercises for headspace to reset you between focus intervals. So, for instance, let me give you an example. You just got finished working on something that was hard. It pissed you off. Somebody done went and did something stupid, and now you got to fix it. And you just got off there. It's time for you to go to something else. You're able to come in here and take 3 minutes and do meditation. Focus your thoughts. Get yourself balanced. Bring yourself back down to earth so you could deal with the next problem. Because if you're still stuck on the last problem, you won't be effective on the next problem. So this allows you to create a space in between that. I don't think this plays, but this is like meditation type thing with music. Sometimes you have some music, birds singing, ocean water running, lightning, thunderstorm, different sounds to calm your nerves, to bring you back down, to allow you to focus. Things like white noise. The well-being tabs feature the same sets of created headspace and mindful exercises. So you got meditation. Guided meditation helps you start the day grounded, relaxes your mind before a big meeting, or brain focus before starting a important project. Now, meditation is very good. I've actually used it myself when I've gotten out of meetings with very difficult clients, and I might have about 5, 10 minutes before the next client come in. And when that next client come in, you got to go in with that upbeat spirit, that happy energy, because that client ain't the last client. So you have to come in happy. This allows you to reset. Browse through leadership content and best practice for boosting engagement, improving productivity, and bring up articles and read on things, and help you with your management skills. Different things you want to improve. 5 seconds on just refocusing your mind. Browsing through leadership content, best practice, boost engagement, improving productivity. You can set Viva Insight can also remind you to mindfully disconnect at the end of the workday. Like I was saying earlier, when you at home, you don't get that time when that alarm clock go off, and it's like time to get off work, go home, you're off the clock. So you can set that reminder. It begins your daily commute. Like I was saying earlier, when you get off of work, you get in the traffic, you automatically go through that commute naturally. Your mind transfers from being at work to going home and what's happening at home. First, you can preview what's on your agenda tomorrow to mentally prepare for the next day and address meeting needs and responses for having conflicts. If you want to accept a meeting, you can accept it. You can look at your tasks for tomorrow. The task management experience allows you to add pending tasks to your to-do list, set up reminders. You can also look back and celebrate all the stuff that you got done today. And then you can start your wind down. You can start your wind down with in the headspace, meditate, get your stuff ready to go, and then you're done. Next, you could take a closer look at and reflect on yourself. How do you feel today? Was this a good day for you? Were you happy? Was you sad? Was this a tough day for you? And then over time, you can come back and check how have you been doing over the last few months. Have each day been a good day? Only had one bad day in the last 6 months, or I've had 6 months of bad days, and why? Viva Insight can also protect your personal time from work-related interruptions. So when you're off from work and you're out of the office and you're not working remote, then most likely you won't have your boss coming to your desk or calling you. But when you work remote, then you tend to can get evening calls even after the work hours, depending on what's going on. But you can set up quiet time for yourself. You could protect your personal time. Personal time is important. Now, no matter if you're the type of person that works that you best work in the evening, you're not a morning person, but you have a certain set of time you set off in the morning for yourself to be able to do things around the house, family, this, that, and the other, and you work all evening long. However you do it, however you set it up where as though you value that personal time. You can also set a quiet time where so you say, okay, during this time the day, don't bother me. Period. You now protected your quiet time for work and related notification. Viva can also help you minimize work-related interruptions during your colleagues' personal time. So those who like to just throw stuff on your calendar, it helps with that too. Viva can also minimize work-related interruptions during your colleagues' personal time. This also require a license. So we say good morning. They try to wish they get that message. Send a message when their work hours starts at this time. It will tell them, don't come here because I'm off. With just one click, you can send your chat message into a confidence knowing that messages will be delivered at the start of your workday. Dry mouth. I need some water. Good morning. Here's some icebreakers. You can ask the team certain things if you want. Thank you. You could do a meeting effectiveness survey. Like these can be displayed at the end of the selected meetings in teams for 5+ attendees to gather feedback on what's made the meetings a success and what can have made it better. Meeting organizers can aggregate surveys, results, and select individual meetings to use to see specific feedbacks. If you tag meetings, now this part of this Viva is for managers also. This part managers can see. So I want to let y'all know this. Your manager also is responsible, or your boss is also responsible for your well-being. So these parts of this presentation, remember, your manager can see it. So if you tag meetings using the category in Outlook or Teams, the effective meetings experience provides insights into the process of times you spent per meeting category, which means I can see as a supervisor how much time you're setting up. What meetings are you setting up? I can see how much time you're putting in the meetings. I can go to meeting details. See, okay, the list of meetings in each category with details including meeting names, total time you spent in that meeting, who accepted that meeting, who was invited to that meeting. I can see overlap in the meeting. What times were the meeting? Were they during work hours? Were they after work hours? Are you accepting meetings late in the evening when you should not be? Oh, let me go back. I haven't got to that part yet, but I also could see whether we maybe get to that part, but I also could see whether you're actually participating in the meetings. So we'll get to that in a minute. All right, let's go back real quick. Okay, the shared meeting plan promotes sharing best practice with colleagues, including uh, accommodating for short breaks between meetings and automatically including Microsoft Team links for all meetings. So if you are the type of person that you and a team are in a meeting working together all day long, you can schedule in meeting and breaks so that, because I've known I know y'all had workshops. And if you're in a workshop and you're working with somebody in the work, it gets exciting. You're getting breakthroughs, you're learning something new, you're working on things. Somebody just came up with a good idea. Let's implement that. Oh, what did you just say? Let's implement that. But before you know it, 8 hours went by. You haven't taken a break. You done burnt, and before the end of the week, if you've done that each day during the work week with no breaks, you done burnt yourself out. Once you burn yourself out, your mind start working. And then at that point now, you're no longer productive. Select the next button to continue to customize your meeting norms. You confirm it, you put the people in to confirm it, then you're done. So everybody that's in that meeting will be scheduled breaks. You can use the suggested task section to stay connected with with collaborations, staying on top of comments and follow-ups. The Teamwork tab is the hub for experience that can strengthen teams' connections. The tab features personal insights about your network, as well as collaborations and communicational habits. Time spent collaboration with others show how many people you collaborate with over the last month. So let's view the network. Hit the scroll. Teamwork. Communication habits shows how much of your time is available to focus on how much time you spent collaborating with others. Suggest important contact. If someone you work with that you may want to consider pinning as a favorite, when you pin someone as a favorite, tasks from them are prioritized in your productive tab. So if you're working with someone, you pin it, their stuff comes up whereas though they are prioritized other than everybody else. The digital email, which surface important insights to improve your work habits over time. It delivers in your inbox near the start and middle of each month for Viva Insights. The monthly digital lets you access your work patterns for the last 4 weeks at the level to insight to improve your well-being. So you can actually go back and say, hold up, I'm doing a little bit too much here. I'm working over my time. Why am I so tired? Because you're putting in all the work and not knowing that you've been doing it. The monthly digest make recommendations right in your email. So it say, hey, take more breaks. You know, take some quiet time each day. With data-driven work patterns, insights such as how often you were able to maintain quiet time or the time spent in collaboration, you can reflect on your previous month and make proactive decisions to improve your well-being. As you know, too much work also can get you sick. So you want to be able to break your well-being down and maintain your health. The digital emails ends by inviting you to explore the richer insights on your focus, well-being, network, and collaborational patterns in the Viva Insight and the web dashboards by selecting Learn More. When composing an email outside of your work hours, schedule sent suggestion automatically displays recommended. Give me 1 second. Recommending a delayed delivery. These are just one of the main inline suggestions in Viva Insight offers to balance your productivity and your well-being. You can modify the time with delivering or canceling delaying using the Viva Insight Outlook add-in. From here, you can also adjust settings such as opting out of seeing inline suggestions as you read or compose emails and meeting invites. All right, and that's the end of my presentation. They added an extra slide in there for me. But there's one more thing they did not add in here that I suggest to everyone. Set aside time to do some physical exercise. You sit at the desk all day, not moving. Um, Set time to get up to do some physical, at least 20 minutes of exercise, at least 4 times a week. It keeps your mind sharp, it keeps your body healthy, and it keeps you very productive. So with that said, that's the end of my presentations. Any questions? No questions? Okay, thank you very much for your attention. And those who have teams and you can find Viva Insight in your teams under the 3 dots. You pull up, type in Viva Insights, and you should have it there. And I expect each one to set that up so that, I know that y'all have focused time, that y'all, where I'm not overworking y'all to death because I can get pushy, for my employees and those who have it, because supervisors can get pushy when we want stuff. But your well-being is important as well. So make sure you use this to maintain your well-being. Thank you very much. On to the next one.
All right, thanks, Harry. Oops, looks like Charles has a question. Hey, Charles.
Yeah. Harry, please, I would like to know how preview is your boss to the information you provide on the site.
Okay, so only
Are they
thing
going to know everything that you provide over there?
No. Your personal insight, how you feel, setting up with your time off, your breaks, things like that is your personal insight. What supervisors
Okay.
can see is the effects of what the supervisor is doing. Like for instance, are you having meetings after the workday? I would like to know that as a supervisor because that's telling me that you're working longer hours than you should be, and maybe you're having too much meetings during the day, so that you're not having your family time, you're not having your personal time. Or if I see that you know you got 15 meetings in a day, you have absolutely no time to do any work. That for me, that would be saying, okay, I need to, take some of these meetings and some of these responsibility off your plate because you're overwhelmed. Those graphics we can see.
And
Everything else
Oh,
we
okay.
cannot see.
I believe you can't see it. I mean, you can see it once you get 5 employees plus, right? If it's lower than 5 employees, I think
No,
they obfuscate. Oh, I thought they did
no.
that to.
That used to be in the beginning, whereas you had to have a certain amount of employees before the supervisor is able to see that. Now, when you buy the entire Viva Suite, then I can see what an employee is doing as far as, like I said, just based on what we do as far as employees for the employer. For instance, how much workload I'm giving you. I don't want to give you so much workload that you're not productive. Because one thing a lot of employees have problems with is turnover. You know, people come in, they start working, they're happy at working, they get overworked, they quit. Now that boss then spent 6 months pouring time, money, training, and things into this employee, which means we want a productive, good employee. But if we overwhelm them with work and then they leave, they can't reflect on how they feel about things and then they to come back and say, boss, this is a little bit too much. And then when I look at my diagnosis, I say, yeah, he right. I've been overloading him with meetings for a minute now. Let's pull some of this back. Then that allows you to be more well-rounded. That allows you to say, okay, one, I have a boss that cares about my needs. They care about my health, care about my life. So therefore, I'm gonna be more productive for this company. That is the whole goal of Viva Insight, so that you could say, okay, I could reflect on myself and say I'm doing well for myself. And then the boss itself can look and say, okay, yes, I am not overworking my employee and doing too much. So to answer your question, that the insight part that pertain directly to you, how you feel, what times you taking off, all that, they cannot see none of that. We only could see what we have contributed to, how much work we're doing, how much meetings you in. We can also see that when you're in meetings with us, so this is a note for everyone to know. If you are in a meeting with your supervisor and they have Viva Insight, and you're doing other stuff like playing a video game on a PC while you're listening, the system can pick that up. Uh, if you're doing other work while you're engaging in conversation with your boss, the system picks that up. So it shows how much engagement you are engaging in the meetings. Because if we are assigning you meetings, whereas though you're doing more work than engaging in the meeting, then not obviously 9 out of 10, you don't really need to be in that meeting in the first place because it doesn't really pertain to you anyhow. You're just there as a body. So we need to move you to something else that's more suited to what you need to be taken care of. So we could see that. So that's just one thing, to separate that. Any other questions?
I think Harrison had a question, or at least he had his hand. I think it's he. I'm not sure which one is your first name. I believe Harrison is your first name, but did you have a question?
Yes, I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So I think I missed some part of where he was speaking about the burnout. So I just wanted to ask how is Viva Insights effective in helping one, overcome a burnout?
Okay. All right. So let me give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example of my life. Okay. I have so much work on my plate that is endless. And it gets to the point where as though if it's not work on my plate, I get upset. So since we're driven by goals, we're driven by aspirations. If you are in a job that you love, that you can tend to work so much that for a while I was working, I would get about 3, 4 hours of sleep. I would go to work, work all day, forget about eating. Right before I go to bed, I might grab a snack, but I'll go to sleep and sleep for about 3 to 4 hours and get right back up and back at work. By the end of the month, you start feeling the drain. You start feeling where as though you ain't thinking as well. Things ain't clicking in your brain as fast. So the way the system does, it reminds me that, hey, you've already been working 3 hours. Stop. Do something. Go get something to eat. You know, read a message. You might even do a quick TikTok or something like that. Something that takes your mind off the work. It allows you to rest your brain. Get into some quick meditation. Stop. Go work out. You know, you might have bills that you need to go. Now, if you're in Ghana, this would not be a perfect representation, because if you got to go to a place in Ghana to pay a bill, then you might as well block off the whole day. So, you know, you might as well, when I was there, well, my gosh, you might as well block off the whole day because you're gonna be at MTN for a minute. But you got things you have to do during the day. You need to block that time off, because even with the stress of normal life, you combine that stress with working hard all day and not stopping and enjoying. It's called smelling the roses. Have you ever heard the term stop and smell the roses? It's telling you that, why you doing all this work, you know, and a lot of us do work because we have families to fill, we have legacies to build, we have generational wealth to build, we have a lot of stuff on, especially us in particular. We are, we have a world to build, and our mind is focused on building that world. But the world is no good if you try to build it and you work yourself to death. Or after a while, you forget why you're working. You have a family. You want to work for that family. You working to help your family grow and your family to be protected, safe, and happy. But if you never spend time with your family, then what's the purpose of the work? So I hope I explained that, this system says, okay, stop working, go do something else, you know, be well-rounded, talk to your wife, call your girlfriend, talk to your kid, walk the dog, go to the beach, you know, stop working, 7 days a week. And, this is something I have to tell myself, because I tend to work 7 days a week, and I tend to work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, unless I force myself to stop. We get caught up in a goal. What is that North Star? We get caught up in that. We so focused on that we don't have time to think about our own health. You know, you could
Yeah.
put in Viva to remind you to go to see the doctor, checkups.
Yeah, I had to use that a lot when I was working at Microsoft because of working from home, working for somebody
Hmm.
else, being totally devoted to the job and the people, and I was working a global role. So I had people meetings all day, different times a day. Sometimes it would be 10:30 meeting because I was meeting somebody in Japan or something like that. So it was like late meetings, early meetings, and I had to really
Hmm.
make sure that I was slowing down and taking some time more than I do now. I do sometimes, I still need to get back in some of that stuff, but I used a lot of those techniques, especially then because the workload um, and because of the nature of my role being crossing so many time spans, so many time zones, and then so much work, so much work to keep up with all the time um, that I was starting to burn out. And actually it got pretty bad my last 2 years of Microsoft. It got pretty bad. So you want to make sure you get ahead of it. Don't try not to let it get you, because once it starts getting you, it can continue to get you.
Let me give y'all one more example before I drop off here. In the United States had more COVID deaths than any other country on the planet, right? Let me tell you why. One, most of us here are unhealthy. They don't take time off of work to get up and do anything to be healthy, to maintain their bodies. Their bodies are torn down, worn down, because constantly working, ongoing, two, three jobs, 24 hours a day, all day, every day.
And when they're eating stuff. It's easy, quick, low nutritional value, high calorie.
So your immune system is not up to par. So when the COVID hit, it came through like wildfire and people were dropping like flies. I mean, two or three people dying in one block. And it's all because if they were healthy, if they stopped and took time off of work, take time and did a work life balance, eat right, exercise right, get your meals in, meditate, do some yoga, family time, sleep. These things are important, and that's what this system help you, plan out. So we could lost over 1 million people here on those very bases alone.
Yep. Then there's also mental health. So your
Hmm.
body is still affected by your mental state. So even if you're in good physical fitness, you're physically fit, but you're stressed out, your body is going to start showing signs of like being like what obese people show, the same types of signs. You might start developing like high cholesterol and hypertension and
High blood
diabetes
pressure.
just because your body is stressed out and in constant fight or flight mode. So yeah, it's your mental also affects your body.
And one of the biggest things that the cause of death here is stress related illnesses, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart attacks, strokes. All these things is from stress, high stress, work, 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 or you in the cold. So they're learning, people are starting to learn, and bosses are, organizations are starting to find that they're getting a better productive employee when they allow to have a work life balance.
Yep, so it's not just moral, it also makes dollar and cent sense.
Hmm. Because if I have you in a multi-million dollar meeting as a representative of my tech team, but yet and still you've been working all week long, 12 hours a day, and then you show up in that meeting, and when you so tired you can't even think about what it is that we supposed to be talking about, and we blow a $12 million deal. We don't want stuff like that happening, you know, and that's what that leads to. So with that said, thank you for listening to me. Peace and blessings.
All right, if anybody else, let's see,
Well,
Sigos.
no, we can't be doing
Look
it.
at-
See, like every time we have these meetings, right? As soon as I'm about to get off, and I say, anybody got any questions?
No,
Nobody
no,
have a question,
no.
but
I'm
as
saying
soon as I'm about to hop off,
no. I'm talking about he
somebody
put
like,
it. He no, he put the thank you in the. I'm laughing at his meme in the window. That's what I'm laughing
oh,
at.
okay. I thought you was about to ask a question. So
Hey,
you know
I
what I'm
don't have
talking
any
about, Seeking.
questions.
All
Little
right,
internal
y'all.
team moment. Little internal team moment. Okay, folks. So we're gonna move on. Thank you so much, Harry. If you have any more questions about Viva Insights, please put them in the chat window and just add mention Harry, and he'll be able to see them. We'll also be monitoring the chat as the rest of the team as well. Okay.
Unfortunately, my Viva is on for me being off, so I ain't answering nothing.
Somebody gonna ask them something. Um, all right. So next up now we have Albert, who is going to bring us home with his um, introduction to. Goodness gracious, I hate when the slides do that. Introduction to Power Automate. Now we're pretty much running down the time, so I know we're not going to have our networking time today, um, which is cool, but we've been, into the conversation, asking questions, having discussions about the presentations going on. So most likely no networking today, but just for y'all to know, future reference, the networking portions normally are not recorded. And even if we do record it, we normally cut it out so that folks can have some privacy as far as what they're saying and discussing during the networking time. But we're not going to have it today. We're going to end with Albert. So go ahead, Albert, take it away, and then I'll end this off after your question, of course. Ask the question and answer time.
Hi, can you hear me? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
good morning, good
David's back here
afternoon,
cheering
good
for you.
evening, wherever you are. I'm so excited to be doing this today. So let's get into this. About me, My name is Albert Quist. I hold a BSc in computer science and a master's degree in cybersecurity and digital forensics. I've been a Microsoft Power Platform and SharePoint specialist since 2019 till date. That's about 6 years. I'm also a certified ISC squared cybersecurity professional. I'm a community builder, and I happen to be the second runner-up for the 2022 Power Apps African Challenge. I've developed over 20 business applications, that is mobile and canvas applications. So that's about me. The content of this presentation, we are going to look at the entire Microsoft Power Platform and discuss some of the components of this platform and how we can access the components of the platform. We'll go ahead to discuss some of the business value and do a short demo. So, what is the Microsoft Power Platform? The Microsoft Power Platform is a cloud-based low-code platform that enables technical and non-technical people to build custom applications, web pages, chatbots, workflows, and reports using a suite of tools and services without having to rely on specialized IT resources. So you don't need so much IT resources to pull off some of these things. So these are the components of the Power Platform. We have the Power BI, which is a business analytics service that provides interactive visualization and business intelligence capabilities with an interface simple enough for end users to create their own reports and dashboards. Then we go on to the Power Apps, which is a low-code development platform for creating custom business applications. Then we look at Power Automate, which is a workflow automation tool that allows users to create automated workflows between different apps and services. And that is going to be our focus for the demo and subsequent demos when I am presenting. Then we look at the Power Virtual Agent, which is now Copilot. It's a service for creating and deploying AI-powered chatbots and virtual agents without a lot of coding. Then we have the Power Pages for building secure data-centric business websites. So now how do you get access to some of these components? You can sign up for free. You can purchase a subscription. You can access it through some of the M365 licenses or partnership with Microsoft. What is the business value of this platform? Increased productivity, it saves costs, improved data visibility, faster time to market, and enhanced customer experience. So let's delve into our demo. Let me stop sharing. Okay. So in this demo, we are going to look at the Power Automate itself. And to get to the studio, you need to go to make.powerautomate.com, enter your credentials, and it brings you to this interface. Now, as I said early on, the Power Automate is a tool for interacting between applications and data. I'm going to walk you through the page. So on the left pane, we have the home. And at the home level, these are the things you see. You have the learn where you can see or navigate to how to get started with the Power Automate platform, right? Then the create. The create gives you some triggers or starters to your flow. So the first one is the automated cloud flow. And with this, the event is triggered when something happens. So for instance, if you get an email alert, or when someone submits a form, or any event that happens, your flow should trigger. The second one, which is the instant cloud flow, is one that you trigger manually. So you could have a button that you press for it to trigger your flow. Then you have one that is a scheduled one. So it works probably every day at a particular time because it is scheduled. Then there's the describe, is just for the AI to help you build the flow that you want. Beneath here, we have the desktop flow, which works more or less like RPA, so robotic power automate. You can use that to automate repetitive desktop activities. The process mining is just to help you evaluate and optimize your existing processes and tasks. So Microsoft, in its pursuit to help you build applications or automate things quickly, came up with certain templates for you, but we'll come back to the templates. Let's move to the next one. So we have the Learn, the Microsoft Learn. It's going to take you to the Microsoft Power Automate documentation site where you could learn on your own. Okay. Then we have my flows. Now this is the repo for all your flows. So if you build a cloud flow, a desktop flow, or if someone shares a flow with you, this is where you are going to find them. Okay. Now, as part of the Power Automate, there is an action which we would be looking at in subsequent events where someone can send you an approval request. And if you want to approve or perform an action on that request, you have it here. And yes, to add to it, the Power Automate has a mobile version which you can download from the App Store or Play Store, and you can see some of these things over there. So you have your solution. It gives you all the solutions in the system, as well as the process mining, which I spoke about earlier, and your AI hub. Now, let's go quickly to the templates. In this template, what we are going to be working with is a simple form. And then, yes, so these are the templates. It's been categorized. So what we are going to do is just a form for probably events or event feedback. If someone submits their feedback, you want to acknowledge them via email. So first of all, I'm going to create my form because we need that form ID to proceed. So this is my Microsoft form. Let's quickly build something. So let's say a Nancy feedback. Okay, so the first one, I'm interested in knowing your full name. I also want your email address because I would be leveraging that to send you the feedback. And let me just say feedback. Okay. So I have this. So now let's go back to our template. So now looking through the templates, we realize over here that there's a template that says send an email to responder when response submitted in Microsoft form. So what I want to do is when you submit your feedback, I want to send you an email. Now, before that, let's go to the settings. Now, because the platform is organizational based, You can restrict the response to only people in your organization or anyone in your organization. So I want to open it up to everyone. So which means that I'm going to select anyone can respond. Now, if I select anyone can respond, that will mean that whoever is filling the form will be seen as anonymous because I can't get to know your name or your email address, but that is fine. So I'll go ahead to select this template. And whilst we hang in there, it's actually going through all the connectors. So with this, I'm trying to use Power Automate to connect my Microsoft form to Outlook. So I'm going to sign in. Now, since everything is okay, I would click continue, and just like that, I have my flow built for me. Now, it says invalid parameters because it is missing the form ID. So clicking on it, over here, you realize it requires a form ID. So from the drop down, it will automatically pick all the Microsoft forms that you have built using this account. And we can see the Anansi feedback form that we just built. So I'm going to select Anansi feedback and select Anansi feedback again over here. Now, the form is set. There is a condition within this. Let's look at the condition. Condition says, if the responder's body is not equal to anonymous, but here lies the case. We set the form to allow anyone to submit. So it means that it's going to be anonymous. So I'm going to set it to if it is equal to anonymous. Now, what that is going to do is it's going to branch to the left if it is true, and if it is false to the right. But we've not set that up yet because the form is going to accept anonymous. Now let's look at the email body. What do we want to do from the side? We want to send a message to the person who filled out the form. Okay. So I'm going to pick it dynamically. Now, here we have get response details. So from the response details, you realize the fields on the form is what we have over here. So the person's full name, their email, and the feedback. So I'm going to choose the email because the email is going to come here. The subject, anyone to help me with the subject? So let's say
Would be about
Nancy.
your Nancy feedback.
Okay, yeah. So thank you, Nikia, about your Nancy feedback. Okay. The body, what should it be? So dear space, and then I want to pick your full name, add a comma to it. What should we write? Your feedback has been received, probably. Your feedback has been submitted. Thank you for attending this event. We will be happy to see you next time. So best regards. Nancy team. Okay. Okay, so this is set. I'm going to save it. Okay. So let's go back to our form. And if you have your phone with you, you can actually scan this and let's see, submit your response. So let's all try it out and see how it goes. Please, did anyone submit and got
I
their
submitted two.
response?
I
Okay.
submitted two.
Did you get your response?
I believe I did get an email. Yes, and it shows. Well, matter of fact, let me kind of like turn my camera on, and hopefully y'all can see this. If not, I'll try to share it on my. Dang, you probably can't see it. Can y'all see that? The email? Shoot. It's like
Yeah.
really it's like really doesn't want to show up on the screen and stay there. But basically the formatting that y'all saw, Albert formatting, is showing up in the email. My name's here. It sent it to the email address that I put it in the form, and it has all the rest of the text and everything as he's shown.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I also received the same mail.
okay. Anyone else? We have about 11 people. It would be great to have your feedback for the team. So if you check all the runs, I did one myself. Segu has confirmed. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have about 6 more to go. Please let's provide our feedback. Okay, so that is it from my end. It's a pretty short one. In our next event, we are going to take another template and to look at it. So as part of your feedback, you can provide what you would want us to do within the the Microsoft Automate space, the template you'd want us to look at. Try your hands on it and let's know what you think about it. Thank you very much for listening to me. Nikki.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks, Albert. Um, Great presentation. Really appreciate the insights. Can't wait for the next one. That was a really quick, easy way to just start like a a quick Power Automate workflow that does something in particular, for our actual event. Um, and use he didn't say this in the thing, but used an extra, gave us a little bit extra by throwing the Microsoft form in there. So kudos, Albert. Really appreciate that. Anybody have any questions or comments? Yes, Harry.
All right. Now that we done seen automated process, can you tell me what pain points do this solve for an organization? What problems does this thing solve in real life?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a typical example. You have an organization that is very keen on social media and customer feedback. Okay, so now let's look at a quick, I want to be sure it's still called Twitter, a quick connection between your email, right? So the very first one says, email yourself new tweets about a keyword. You can pick this, and then the keyword could be your organization. So for instance, if it is NTC, you want to know what people are saying about NTC on Twitter or X. If it is positive or if it is negative, you can tell your social media team to quickly go in there and then respond to it. Now, this can save your reputation as an organization. Secondly, I have leveraged Power Automate with Azure Logic apps to be sending SMS to customers when they fill a form, right? So with this, I know there are previous videos talking about Power Apps, but Power Apps connected to Power Automate. When somebody submits a request, you can leverage this whole Power Automate thing to provide feedback. And with the email or this the Twitter, as I said, one, you save your organization, the reputation. There is another one called sentiment analysis. I want to believe it is here. It also picks the feedback from your customers or online and then analyzes what they are saying. So you don't necessarily have to put people out there to be checking out some of these things for you. Automate can help you do that easily. And then to talk of sending bulk email messages to your clients, help you download attachments from your email and whatnot. It just saves
Okay.
you that time.
All right. I was just about to say, so if I break that down to by that thing doing bulk emails for me, what does that do for me as a business owner? And one thing you answered was it saves me time. So
Yeah,
this is
so
just I was just trying to get y'all to break it down to for those who are going to be out speaking to people that does consulting or speaking to people to close a deal, right? When the technology does one thing, but what it does for the person is a different thing, right? Albert just answered both questions on both sides. Albert answered what the technology does for the company, but what does it does for the CEO up top? It saves him time. It keeps everything organized. It keep everything, the message, one message. It stops mistakes. It give him time back during the day to do other things. So good job on that, Albert. Thanks for answering that question.
Yeah, I just
Thank
want
you,
to add a
Harry.
couple of points. And you may be about to, are you, wait a minute. You're done, right, Albert? We did-
Yes, yes, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Yeah, just for some reason my brain went back like, wait a minute, did he even finish? Um, but okay, so you know, Albert was talking about one use case here or a couple of different use cases. But think about any business process or basically, everybody runs through processes, workflows all day long. How you make a sandwich is a process. How you go put your pants on and take a shower and all that stuff. All that stuff's a process. Now, when you're at work, a lot of times the process has to do with um, needing approvals, notifying people, or people working together or people working together to get a certain thing done. And a lot of times those processes are very manual and very heavy and maybe paper. And nothing's electronic, nothing's being tracked. If you've ever walked a piece of paper to someone's desk to get an approval and you left it there because they were out on lunch or whatever, and then you come back 2 days later, what happened to my approval? They don't even know. It left their desk. They lost it somehow, or it got tore up, or the form got messed up, and now you got to start all over again. This is a way for you to be able to put together processes that people are already using, but put it together in a way that's automated so that it can be tracked. It can save people time. People know that this process is going on. It doesn't take somebody to actually physically move, a piece of paper or something like that, or go visit someone's desk. The system can notify people. The system can keep track of where where we are in the process, who done what, where is it at right at this moment, things like that. So um, Albert has listed a lot of things on this slide what the business value is for the platform. But don't forget, it's about automating those processes that everybody runs through all the time, making it faster, but also making sure that people know what's going on, and that things don't get lost in the process.
Hey, do we have a quick time for a quick exercise, real quick, based on that scenario you just said?
Not really. We got 6 minutes left.
Okay, we probably can get this done in 6 minutes. All right, so that scenario Nikki just said about processes done through with paper, and then when she came back, you know, it was lost, and that process was busted. It got ripped up, tore up, this, that, and the other. All right, so this exercise is to have you looking from a employee's point of view and a CEO's point of view, a decision maker's point of view, and employee's point of view, the worker's point of view, right? Which one of those problems is the CEO's problem? Out of that scenario, what is the problem for the CEO, right? So if you break it down, his process works. He got y'all doing it on paper, this, that, and the other. Is making me money. Process work, right? So because that's the process he put in place. You know, if everybody wrote it right, didn't lose no paper, didn't tear nothing up, that's my process. It's cheap for me. It's my overhead is good. Everything is based on that, right? Now, what's the employee's problem? They got to do it on paper. It can get messed up. I got to keep track of it. I get that and the other. Now, the employer don't really care about that because that I pay you to take care of that problem. Now, what's the employer's problem? The employer's problem now is when that paper got lost, it messed with the operation of the organization. So when you going to sell or to explain to a client in a meeting and you're speaking to the higher ups, you don't speak about the technology and what the technology does. What the technology does is for the employee. How it solves their employer's problem is what you're going to sell on. You're going to sit there and say, look, because this process can get lost, this, that, and the other, this can affect your bottom line. You know, this process, by automating this process, I could save you this amount of dollars in revenue based on time because of these problems. So if you can break down an actual issue and separate the employees from the higher ups thinking, then you'll be able to close more deals because you'll be pointing directly to the pain points of the owner. The owner don't care that you got to dig a hole with a shovel. The owner care if the shovel keep breaking because he got to buy another shovel. Or the owner care is taking way too long to get that whole deal dug for me to get paid. You know, because I got to pay you, I got to pay this person, I got to pay back the loan. Not only do I got to pay, you know, I still haven't got paid and all that, and the organization got to grow. That's what he cares about.
He also cares if it's if it's messing with employee morale,
Right.
because then he can't retain
Right.
employees. They're going to leave, or they're going to be disheartened to the point where their productivity goes down.
So when you speak, the tool is exciting for the employee, but the exciting part of the tool is that headache that you just relieved, and that's where your cost value comes in. When you build that value to the cost, the price does not matter. So all those that's going out into the field to be able to sell, speak to clients and things of that nature, that's just a lesson of the day. We should add this in.
Yeah, we should probably add more or make sure that we're being more vocal during each conversation and bringing in these manager, owner type, sales, consulting, mind frame type conversations so that folks are able to understand the tech, but also understand how to talk about the tech in the different situations. So thanks so much, Harry, for that. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go and round out the end of this meeting. It's been a great meeting. Appreciate that you. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit the slide button and I just clicked really quickly on the wrong screen. So my apologies. I am back. So to round this out, remember, you still have the availability of getting your own free Microsoft Dev account. This Dev account is, I think it's 90 days, but you get to, as long as you're using the Dev account, you're in there, you're playing around with stuff, you're building things, you can keep renewing it yearly after the 90 days. So once you renew it the first time, I think it's a year, and then you'll have to renew it every year. If you don't use it for a while, though, you will get notification to say that if you don't use it, we're going to cut your thing off, cut your account access off. But you get 25 users pre-named. They already have names. They already have roles. The only thing is that you don't get a lot of content. But you have the setup, things set up and structured. You have people with role names and pictures and things. So you can add in content and then use that as your testing grounds. So the things that we're talking about today, you get an E5 license. A lot of that is already available in your E5 license, so you can play around with some of the stuff that we discussed today. We're hoping that you enjoyed today's session and that you will come back for next month. We will announce next month's meeting pretty soon. It will be Thursday, August 22nd. Please take a few moments to give us some post events feedback using the post event survey QR code here. Also, you can join the company page where our events are located. This is this QR code right here. And you can also join the community page for discussion and Q&A, which is this QR code right here. So again, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us again for this month. We will post this recording to the YouTube channel, and we hope to see you all again next month. Bye.
Right.